On our podcast show this week, we are heading to Seoul, Korea because Samsung Unpacked. That's right. Seoul, Korea is the hometown of Samsung. And that's why they're doing this year's event in Korean time, which is terrible for North American journalists because that's 4 a.m. in the morning, 8 p.m. for them. However, was for some people, it was worth staying up for because they unveiled or confirmed all the rumors and speculation about their latest foldable phones, flippable phones, and a tablet or two. So let's get right into it. But before we get into it, we want to welcome back our co-host, Winston Shim. He's been in that time zone for the last month because I just basically left him in Taiwan. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, yeah. I'm kind of like, I don't know where I am now, but I've arrived in Vancouver, so I'm good. But I was there for like a month in Taiwan and then a month in Hong Kong, went to Japan, went back to Hong Kong again. So I'm climatized to the time zone. But I'm glad I'm back, so I'm more settled. Well, here we go. Samsung Unpacked.
Yeah, and here we go back into the fray because we have some phones that people have been either looking forward to or they were just expecting to happen. And they did because we are now in the 5 series. Let's start off with the phone that everyone's been most excited about because this is the 5th version, actually 6th version of their phone because it went 3. Anyway, they call it number 5. This is the follow-up to the Flip 4, which is the phone that I have.
Flip 4?
Right? This is the 4.
Yeah.
And the 5.
There's a story about that in Taiwan. We'll talk about
that because there is a new feature on the new phone that we'll talk about real quick. So let's talk about the outside screen because that's something that everyone can see immediately. There is a ceramic backed outside screen. And it looks like a file folder, but it's a full screen on the where these cameras are, where this little tiny screen is. It's now 3.4 inches, and these little camera bumps are now moved sideways. So it looks like a folder icon, but it's a screen. So it's capable of having an always on display. It's a 60 hertz display. So unlike the new screen that has a 1 to 120 hertz refresh, which is very good for battery life. It's only 60 hertz on the outside. Will it hurt people's eyes? I don't think so. It's at a glance.
It's
at a glance, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they've gone to a ceramic back is actually really good because that increases the scratch resistance and durability. And apparently, from what I've seen, it's actually very, very readable. You can also have a full QWERTY keyboard on the new phone, which is great.
Oh, nice.
But here's the kicker. Right now, the only keyboard that you can use is not the Google keyboard, even if you have it installed. It's not the Grammarly keyboard, even if you have it installed. It's the Samsung keyboard. It's the only keyboard that you can use on the outside now.
Okay.
Right now.
Is that good or bad?
I personally don't love the Samsung keyboard. I use Grammarly a lot more.
Do they use that swipe thing? Is that called it?
The Microsoft one? I don't use it. No, I don't use it. But it's going to be small because it's only 3.4 inches. So you're only typing on the outside. So good for WhatsApp messages, text, Messenger, stuff like that.
Quick text.
So stuff that you need to get back to and just put your phone back down. Will it save battery? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, even with this thing, I tap it. There's the time, the date. It's all I really use the outside screen for. So I guess in a sense, you're going to be using less of the inside screen because you can do more with the outside screen. So that's a bonus of the new phone. The second physical thing that you'll see that's different between the Flip 4, which I have, and the new one is the fact that it's going to be a lot flatter because this you can see right here
There's a little gap.
There's a gap.
Right?
There's a gap.
Yeah.
There's a gap.
Yeah.
It kind of flips up, right? You see that? So
that's right.
The new phone has a new mechanism that actually folds flat. It's a new teardrop hinge mechanism that is supposed to be more durable. We'll talk about that in a second. More durable. And it folds the entire mechanism flat so that it makes it less susceptible to dust ingress and water ingress. The only problem is that even though they've done these two things, the screen still has a crease in it. I myself don't really care about that because it gives me a reference point as to where the middle of the screen is and how to fold it. So that helps me out a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right? It helps me out a whole lot. So that's not a big deal for me. Okay. The other thing that's really neat for me is when seeing this phone, this applies to kind of Butterfingers people. And it was and even though I have this thing completely armored up, because you can see I've got the spiking case, they say this hinge is a lot more durable. The percentage, I don't know, but we never tell the story. But when I was in Taiwan, the very first day after I got off the plane, we went to our hotel. We stumbled around without caffeine for a little bit while we looked for the 7-Eleven, the farthest one away from our hotel. I dropped this phone on somehow the Taiwanese cement is so hard. You'll see the scar right here.
Oh, they replaced the screen, but the scar is still there.
No,
right?
the scar in the case is still there because I didn't want to buy a new case.
Okay, right.
So where it hit was this hinge right there.
Yeah,
shattered the hinge.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this is what they call a single rail hinge. The new one is a double rail hinge. So what that will mean is it should open with a lot more positivity. It should stay open. I never had this issue, but it should just stay open, just even better. And it should have just a solid guided click into place. Whereas this one, I actually didn't really notice that big of a difference. But if it's going to save someone the same heartbreak that I had, where I watched the entire screen die in front of my face, turn black and fade away like Optimus Prime did when he died the first time in the movies.
It was painful to watch.
It was painful to watch.
Even for me, it was painful to watch. I didn't know what to say.
The line? Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye, yeah.
So that's a good thing. So these are all refinements that Samsung has done to make the physical attributes of the device a lot better. But let's head inside.
Right. So what's inside? What's the guts? Tell me.
Qualcomm Snapdragon Gen 8 1. Gen 8 plus.
Gen 2.
Snapdragon 8 plus Gen 1 in this one.
Oh, in that one, right. Okay. Gen 1 in the Flip 4.
Now you're going to the same processor that's in the S23 Ultra, which is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
Gen 2.
Okay.
That's the more advanced chip, right?
That's the latest chip right now. Right now for the S23, and you'll find that in S23 Ultra, S23 series, and you'll find it in the Flip 5. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Having said that, I never noticed the phone being slow. The other thing that's actually excellent is that because they've gone to that chip, they've also added faster memory. So the 8 gigabytes of memory that is already inside the Flip 4 has been upgraded to, in the Flip 5, the GDDR5X versus the GDDR5. So what that's going to mean is because you've gone to GDDR5X, it's going to be less heat and better performance overall, right? So with the processor, with less heat, better efficiency, you're going to have a phone that overall is going to get you better performance, even with the big screen on the outside in terms of battery life and also efficiency and whatnot. So you're gaining about an hour of on time across the board and 20% better performance across the board over the GPU, CPU, and also various other compute tasks as well too. They also slid in something about AI, but I don't care. AI is in everything, right?
All right. Storage options.
So storage options, they've cut out the 128, which no one wanted in the first place. They've only gone for 256 and 512 gigabytes, which is I think 256 is basically your bare minimum these days. And then 512 is amazing, which is great. That's a lot of pictures that you can take. Something that you also don't see on the outside is that in addition to reconfiguring where the lenses are, which is on the bottom to support the outer screen, which is that 3.4-inch outer screen now, they have a slightly better camera, but overall, it's basically the same hardware. The only thing that's making a difference is the processing inside the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, which gives it better low light performance and just a little bit more responsiveness. But it's almost immeasurable. It's hard to say.
And you got that AI as well, right? Because I remember you taking photos with what and the AI is working on this magic. So that's pretty good. And you mentioned about battery life. What about the same battery life?
No, it's an hour more.
An hour more
standby, hour more on use based on what they said. So I think they were like 50 hours, 50 hours up to 50 hours of standby or something like that.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And then 27 hours of playback.
If it's improved battery life over the Flip 4, that's a good thing.
More powerful processor, bigger screen, an hour more time.
And one question, right? So you mentioned on the Flip 4 that you have a Samsung Wallet. Does it work on your phone?
The Samsung Wallet works on my phone.
All right, so you can just use that with paying stuff with.
You don't need to open it.
You don't need to open it.
You need to open it.
Now, but with the Flip 5, apparently you don't need to.
Well, that's something we're going to have to see, because that could have been for TV.
Oh,
right?
okay.
That could have been for TV, because I've never been able to get this thing to tap without opening it all the way. So we'll have to see if that's actually, you know what? I have to activate Samsung Wallet. So maybe I'll give it a try one of these days.
Okay. Nice.
So basically that's the gist of it. Now, should you buy this phone if you already own the Flip 3? Yes, you should definitely buy this phone if you own the Flip 3. The battery life was horrible in the Flip 3. It didn't last through most of the day. You're going to have a quality of life upgrade. And we're going to talk about some of the offers and the pricing in 1 second, because you're going to be really impressed with that. So the battery life, better camera, better hinge, better. You should definitely go from Flip 3 to Flip 5.
Right.
If you're in the Flip 4, like myself, then the water is kind of muddy a little bit, because first of all, there's nothing wrong with this phone's battery life. The camera performance is on par. In fact, I bet you anything that with a software upgrade after the Flip 5 launches, it's going to be about the same. The only thing that you're going to gain is slightly, not even feelable, snappier performance, because 20% on benchmarks doesn't mean jack.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, not in real life, no.
And if you already have a 256 or a 512 gigabyte version of this, great. You're already fine. Storage, not an issue. The 3.4 inch screen, if you're someone who already has a watch like I do, and we're going to talk about that too. Honestly, I don't even want to go here. I don't touch it. I really don't. Right? The only time that I would ever need it, this screen to be bigger, is if I was doing a lot more self photography, where I wanted this thing to be that much bigger. That's all.
I mean, it had a lot of influences at the show, and you know, in the presentation, Sweeney was there, and she did exactly what the Flip 5 was designed for. You know, selfies and that kind of stuff. So with that screen, the cover screen, the biggest screen, it's something that I think everybody wanted it, especially Samsung users.
I think it's good for that. But
definitely.
If you have a watch, you already have a bigger screen that you could see from over there. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to that part of our walkthrough of the Samsung Unpacked event. So let's talk about pricing and some of the offers. Now, what's that price going for, Winston? What's it going for?
It should be the same, right? $1,499 US?
Yeah, pricing hasn't changed. What about Canadians? Canadians are paying how much?
It would be the exchange rate. I think it was at 1,000, whatever the rate is, 1,700-ish. Is it?
I think it's a little bit less, but let's not confuse people. Let's make sure that we get the right price, because it is available on Samsung.ca right now, because we're a Canadian podcast, so we got to make sure that we take care of our Canadian friends here. So I'm just quickly looking it up on my Samsung tablet. And we'll talk about that in 1 second as well too. So pre-order pricing for this thing, we're looking at oh wow, okay. Why do you not give me the price? It's $12.99 for the 512. Now, 512 is an offer right now. I'll talk about that in 1 second, but it's $12.99 normally for the 256 gigabyte model. Okay, you add another $160 to get to the 512.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at the 512 version. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, why would anyone buy this? Right now, 256 gigabyte and 512 are the same price due to a promo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. But normally it would be about $200 more. So it would normally be $14.99 Canadian to get to the 512. This is not any movement between last year's Flip 4 and this year. So this is good. Okay.
So similar pricing, and if you're going to go for the promo, you're actually getting 512 rather than 256.
That's right.
On top of that, if you registered during or pre kind of register for the show, they would give you the voucher. And that's $100 off.
Yeah. So that's an additional $100 off that phone, plus the double memory upgrade. You also get 30% off Samsung Care, which I do recommend getting.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So that's not a bad deal. At least get 1 year, because if you upgrade next year, you're not going to use the second year anyway. But the offer that is making it very difficult for someone like me with a Flip 4, but easy for someone with a Flip 3 or any Galaxy Flip device to upgrade is the guaranteed $700 trade-in value. Samsung will give you $700 to trade in towards your brand new Flip. So you're taking $12.99, you're taking $100 off, and you're taking $700 off with your trade-in from your Flip 3, your Flip 3, Flip 3 5G, like your Flip, Z Flip. It's a very compelling offer. So if you have any other Flip besides the 4, get this phone. It is the right upgrade for you. It is everything that I think that all those other phones should have been.
Yeah.
And no carrier is going to be able to offer a better deal than Samsung Direct. They even give you 36 months, 0% interest, which means that if you bought this phone with all the trade-ins and everything like that, you'd be paying around $16 or $17 a month to upgrade from the other phone to this phone. And this is why, because I like my phone just fine. My Flip 4 is just fine.
Yeah.
I won't be upgrading this year. I will probably upgrade when they go to the 6, because I find that in this case, they're so close, with the exception of the bigger screen, they're so close that it's not worth this upgrade for this year. But if you don't have a 4, anything but the 4, do it.
If you want a flip phone and you don't have one, then this is the one to go for. This is something I want. I had a choice to get in the Motorola Razr Ultra.
Don't do that.
I looked at that. It had the screen, the cover screen, and everything. I was going for it. And I thought, no, I'm going to get this mic instead.
It's not a Samsung, and that mic is better than the Motorola.
Yeah, that's right, definitely.
So,
but I'm glad I waited, because now with the Samsung Unpacked, they unveiled the Flip 5, and I could be going for it. Yeah, because it's I worked it out.
Do it.
1,300, 1,360, right?
Yeah.
For the 512, $100 off, and also the memory upgrade with the Samsung Care 2 years, 1,360 Canadian dollars.
And you get 36 months, 0 interest, which is incredible. So you might as well just buy it. Get 1 year, because you're just going to upgrade it. Oh, buy 2 years. It's 30% off for the Samsung Care. Just do it. It's like it's like a minimal amount of money to get peace of mind. Just so anyone knows, just so you're aware, if I did not have Samsung Care when I dropped this phone and had to have it replaced, it would have been around $400. Samsung Care was included when the Flip 4 was launched. It came with 1 year, and it was only a deductible of $79. It was a
lifesaver for you, right?
Deductible of $79. That's all I paid. New phone. That's
good.
Because the eyes are different. Brand new phone.
Oh, they give you a brand new phone?
It's a brand new phone. This is brand new. And also they've made some improvements to it as well too. So it seems like it's a later revision of the Flip 4. A better version of it. So quite happy.
Definitely get the Samsung Care.
At least for the year. At least for 1 year.
Definitely.
Okay. Now I want to talk about something else. Like, you've been keeping an eye also on the Z Fold 5.
That's right.
What can you tell me? What can you tell us all about that? Like, is it exciting or not?
It's kind of exciting. Again, I look at it as a refresh. Galaxy Z Fold 5, they call it, right? It uses Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
Same.
So again, same thing. Yeah. A large 7.6 inch main screen. The cover screen is 6.2 inch in display, 120 hertz. So it give you that immersive gaming. What I did like about it when they presented it was the way that they did the multitasking, drag and drop, split screen, S Pen. Oh my God, it is a computer in your hand, literally. It
seems like
you can do everything with it. Excel, Word, everything, and you can do it in different screens. You can. It's just amazing. And the S Pen is good, of course, doing sketches and notes and stuff like that. New Flex Hinge, so same thing that you find it on the Flip 5. IPX8, because of course hasn't got the dust resistance.
No dust.
Foldables, screen, water resistance, yes, but no dust. Tele 10 megapixel tele, 50 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, right? Night photography and all that kind of stuff. AI enhanced photos, super steady shot. So I'm not sure if that's already included in the previous one, but now they can do the steady shot. It's basically anti, vibration, that kind of stuff, right? Security with the Knox, that's standard with all Samsungs, right? And actually it's 2.4 millimeter thinner than the previous Fold, right?
That's probably because of the hinge again.
That's right. Yeah. And then the storage options are same thing: 256, 512, or 1 terabyte. You get 12 gigabytes of RAM. Of course, it's the same with the GDDR5X RAM, so it's slightly faster. Battery life is 4,400 milliamps, so bigger battery. Weighs a little bit heavier. It's 256 or 253 grams. But in a sense, I look at it as a refresh. If you haven't had the Fold 4 before, you've got the older previous generation Folds, then this is a good phone to upgrade to. It's not cheap.
It's expensive. Oh my god,
it's expensive.
Here, let me give you the lowdown. It's $2,399.
Yeah, you think, man, you can use that. You can buy a laptop, right?
Yeah,
you get the same price as a laptop, but it is a portable computer in your hand.
Yeah.
So and it does everything. You know, it's the same thing to what Apple ecosystem is. You got Samsung ecosystem, right? So you get into the foldable ecosystem, and this is the kind of thing that you want. If you want a foldable kind of handheld, phone, laptop, I don't know what you want to call it. It's just a portable foldable computer.
Well, there is one thing that's better. Something that the Samsung phones, even the Z Flip 5 does better, is the fact that it has something called DeX. Now, DeX is the desktop environment. It's basically Android on your desktop, and it allows you to do a whole lot of things with the native apps inside there, like video editing. There is LumaFusion is a really great mobile editing software that does multi-layer and everything, arguably better than Adobe's own offerings on the mobile side. It's close to Apple's Final Cut as you can get for Android. Or even on iOS. It's available on iOS as well too, but they've really optimized it for this platform. So if you have the Z Fold 5, and because of the size of the chassis, it's going to be higher performance because it's not going to underclock the processor when it heats up. So
I look at the Fold 5 as you get the 2-in-1 laptops, right? Yeah, the tablet / computer, laptop. The Fold is almost like a 3-in-1. Right?
It is. It really is.
It's a foldable computer, if you can look at it that way. A phone, right? And there's also a tablet.
It is a tablet,
so it's kind of 3-in-1. That's what it is.
I think it's a really interesting proposition for those people that want one device, maybe carries a little monitor with them, and they just want to work super portable.
But Troffman mentioned that. He actually carries a portable monitor, and he hooks it up to his phone.
Yeah. So
and then now you have,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So you got like a separate, actually, portable monitors are getting really popular. And in fact, I got one of myself, and it's amazing how much you can do.
You can do a lot
in terms of productivity. Yeah. So
what's your take on this thing? Should people be upgrading from the 4?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. How about honest with you, because anything before the 3, do it.
Yes. Yeah, if you're into that foldable kind of ecosystem, and you want to get foldable life, then this thing has everything you need.
Well, let's talk about the Canadian offers. Okay, so I gave you the price. It's $23.99. That's with the double memory upgrade. So if you were only buying the 256 version, it would be $23.99. The 512 version would be $25.99. Now here's the kicker: if you have any Galaxy device, they're going to give you $900 guaranteed to get into this thing. All right, so that's save up to $900 for trade-in. So that's great. $100 if you pre-registered for the Samsung event, so that's $1,000. Plus, if you buy it, you're also going to get Uber $50. So they're doing all these things. Office 365 is also available with
that's good because you need that for Office productivity, apps and stuff like that. Oh, okay.
YouTube Premium. You also get Galaxy Store. So if you want to pick up new wallpapers or new apps, they're giving you $50 right off the bat. I think some of these offers are available on the Z Flip as well too. And of course, 36 months to pay off that enormous bill. So by the time you deduct the $1,000 from this thing, you're still paying plus tax, $13.99 plus tax.
That's right. That's a lot of money.
It's a laptop. It's my laptop.
It's your
right?
laptop, right?
So cases and everything are thinner this year. They're doing a lot with the ecosystem. I think there's a lot to like for this. And if you were holding on buying the 4, maybe it was good that you held on, because I think this is the one. I really do.
Yeah.
This is really nice.
It's thinner, and it's got a lot more its features, I think, which is just attractive. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Multitasking and everything. So.
All right. Now, speaking of big, let's look at the tablets. What can
Tab S9.
What can we say about the tablets?
Okay, so there's like the 11-inch one. There's the 12.4. The base model is 11-inch, right?
Yes.
And there's also the 12.4-inch. It's a plus. So these are the Tab S9 base model, Tab S9 Plus, and the Tab S9 Ultra, which is 14.6-inch.
It's too big, man.
It's huge, right? It's IP68, so it's dust and waterproof.
Yeah, I found that was really interesting, because I guess they're trying to get people to take it to the beach with them or something. Or maybe, okay, you know what? Maybe they want people to use it in sports. You know, like that, take
outdoors
stats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
playback.
And then camping and things like that outdoors.
Yes.
It's screen-wise, dynamic AMOLED 2X display, they call it, right?
Yeah.
120 hertz. It's got the usual S Pen. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
Yes.
So again, same processor. In fact, it's got a better cooling. It's got the CUMS SI TIM, right? Which is basically a vapor chamber that allows you to provide extra cooling. Battery. Now, based on the model, so the 11-inch has the 8,400 milliamps. 12.6-inch, 12.4-inch plus model has the 10,090 milliamps, and the biggest one, the 14.6 Ultra, is 11,200 milliamps. So it's a huge battery, massive, and we're talking about probably a couple of days of use, to be honest with you, right? Storage-wise, same thing, 256, 12, 512, or 1 terabyte options.
1 terabyte.
Then the RAM size are basically 8 gigs, 12 gigs, and 16 gigs RAM for the bigger one. So basically, if you're a tablet person, then these are the options you can get for the new Galaxy Tab S9. Personally, myself, I like something smaller. Yeah. So I can, carry it with me. I can hold it in my hand for my quick notes.
Well, you've seen my
stuff like that.
You've seen my 12-inch one before, the S7 FE. So I upgraded to the 8,
one. Right? Okay.
The S9. The S9.
Yeah.
And this is awesome. This is a good size. It's 11-inch, right?
That's 11-inch. It's fine.
11-inch is fine. It's more usable. So I can't imagine anyone carrying around a 14-inch, because that thing is huge. Like where were you going to put? How would you fit it into a laptop bag? That's what I'm wondering. And they made these a little bit thinner with the new thermal vapor chamber, which is a way of making it thinner, because vapor chambers are typically a lot thinner, smaller. So they've done a really good job with that. Yeah. But I still think that the S9 is going to be the best way to go, because you've got, and man, like 256 is unfortunately in Canada right now, 256 is the biggest one that you can get. But there is memory expansion. So it's not that big of a deal. You still get the S Pen. It's pretty good. Is it an upgrade from the S8? I think this is probably one place where Samsung kind of painted themselves into a corner, because the S8 series was fantastic. Yeah. It still is. And because they also gave Samsung users with the S7 FEs, they gave me back all the money that I paid for it and asked me to pay another $300, $400.
That's right. They emailed you, right? And they said, okay, upgrade to this.
Yeah.
Just, I thought, that's a pretty good offer.
Great. So I've got this one now. And they're still off. Like, let's talk about the offers, right? So the S9 starts at, it's $1099. 11-inch screen.
11-inch screen, yeah.
$1349 for the S9 Plus, which is probably as big as I would ever go. The S9 Ultra is like a monstrous screen. It's $1599 starting price. I mean, 256, 12 gigabytes for $1099. Pretty good. But here's another kicker. If I wanted to trade my tablet back in for some stupid reason, they would still give me $500 for this thing. So $500 plus 100 to get this tablet. So I would pay $400 roughly to upgrade to it.
For the upgrade.
That's the
crazy.
issue. Is it even worth it? I would say no.
Yeah,
No.
well, a lot of I think the big thing that they're pushing is that all of the new tablets and some of the new foldable phones and other stuff like that, they're using recycled materials. True. And I think that's one of the things that they want to push out. Say, hey, don't discard your old tablet or whatever. Just we'll take them up and we'll recycle those, but then you can get the new tablet.
Yeah,
right?
but I like my tablet just fine. If I keep it for a couple more years, it keeps it out of the landfill. So I think that this year was for the tablet, for the Fold, and for the Z Flip. In terms of these devices going, it's definitely, I would go with refresh. I might even say a slight evolution tweak to what a really good formula.
I would say it's more of a tweak. Yeah.
So I think now it's super solid. The lineup is solid. If you're buying a tablet today, you've always wanted the S8, you've always wanted the 4 and the Fold. This is the year to buy something. This is the year to get it.
That's true.
Right?
Go and treat yourself. Get something.
This is the year to do it.
That's right. I mean, I've been wanting an foldable phone for about a year now. I've been waiting and waiting. You know me, Stephen, right? And now this is the time to get it because
it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time to get it with all those offers available right now, plus with those little tweaks that they've improved on the previous gen. This is the time to get it.
It really is.
You know, why not?
Yeah, it's not so much of a giant leap that makes everyone that had just the last ones feel bad, but it's good enough that you would consider it if you had too much money. But if anyone was to buy one today, or if the other ones were such a good deal that you had to, if the difference in price was so high,
I think
it's fine.
What Samsung's trying to do is that they're giving you deals and also they're taking your old devices back.
Yeah.
And something that I think Apple hasn't really done in terms of looking after their customers in that sense, especially with today's economic environment, right? Nobody's going to be able to afford a $1,500 phone.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with the old one, right?
Yeah.
They're going to take it back, but then it's I don't know. And they don't give you any offers or any discounts or anything like that. So,
well, this is one of the nice things about some of the carriers in Canada. They actually have certified, refurbished from Samsung devices that they sell directly to customers. They're a few $100s less money. And they get, not only does the carrier get a customer again, paying a monthly bill on a high-end device, but the customer feels that they've gotten a better deal because they've gotten a device that's completely refurbished, looks brand new most of the time because they change the shell, they polish it up, it's good to go. Right. Comes with the same warranty and everything like that because people have lovingly loved them for only a year, mostly, or two.
That's right.
And it's fine. I think it's a good way to kind of get people into the Samsung ecosystem and push people away from the Apple ecosystem. It's a good way to do it. Right. I know that Apple does have their refurbished program as well too, but they don't really push it that much. And also carriers tend to stay away from it because the pricing of the Apple refurbished devices is not good.
They're not good.
It's not good.
Yeah. You might as well get a new one. Yeah.
I think there's only one thing for us to go talk about. And this is something that is close to my heart because I did pick up a watch when I picked up my Z Flip 4 because it was such a phenomenal deal. When I had the Flip 3, they gave me a similar awesome, actually it was more money. They gave me over $800 back for that freaking thing.
What the hell?
And they gave me remember when I bought it, I couldn't believe what the cart was. So this was part of an offer where I paid like $900 for a watch, headphones, and the phone.
That's right. You got the buds, right?
I got everything, right? So they gave me so much money off that I'm like, I'm an idiot for not doing this. And I did. So the Watch 5 Pro is kind of a watch that is the flagship watch of the Samsung ecosystem. It is meant to compete directly with the Watch Ultra from Apple, but it kind of falls short because it doesn't have like the huge bezels, doesn't have the powerful satellite stuff inside, but it's just good enough, right? It's smaller, it's a lighter, it has a titanium shell. It also has great battery life, up to 12 days if you put on the power saving mode.
12 days,
right?
And it's cheaper, right?
A lot cheaper. A lot cheaper, right? So when I saw the Watch 6s this year, I was like, hey, I wonder what they got going on there. So the Watch 6 and the Watch 6 Classic came out. The Watch 6 is basically your Watch 4 replacement. So it comes in, like sizes of 42, 44 millimeter.
Yeah, 42, something like that, yeah.
And then you've got the Monster Classic, which has the new rotating bezel like previous generations.
Yeah, I like that one.
It is a nice fashion watch.
I like that one.
And it is, it's a lot more money. Comes in LTE and Bluetooth in a 46 millimeter bezel. So it's like, Rolex size. Right? It's got a bigger bezel, diving watch size. But it's missing a couple things that the Watch 5 Pro had.
Okay.
So I know that the Watch 6 and 6 Classic all have the newest generation of processor, but it looks like to me on the spec sheet when they were comparing it all, it doesn't have the same amount of GPS functions because it doesn't have the mapping function where you can go out on your run, start the waypoint, and come back. It doesn't have that. There was a big X in the 6 categories. Everything else was more or less the same. The Watch 5 takes it on having the better crystal on the screen.
Nice crystal.
Titanium casing. So it's still better. And sure enough, they didn't launch a Pro model of the 6, and they're keeping the Watch 5 Pro in the lineup for until the next revision.
Yeah, I think with the Watch 6 is more of a fashion kind of smartwatch. It had like same thing with all the one-click band, tons of available bands you can buy, fabric ones, rubber ones, and all that kind of stuff. And the Classic, it looks with the bezel, the twisting bezel. I like that, rotating bezel.
Yes.
And very affordable.
Yeah.
The pricing, tell us.
So I'm looking at the pricing here in Canada, and there's also a trade-in offer. There's another trade-in offer here. Like this is phenomenal. Okay, so when you're looking at the Watch 5, Watch 5 6, they're on pre-order right now, so they'll be shipping sometime after August 10th or so for the 10th. You're looking at for the 43 millimeter Watch 6 Classic, you're looking at $549. For that rotating bezel watch. The 47 mil, which of course is the big daddy, that's going to be $589. And if you want Bluetooth and 4G, so you got to have another plan on it, $699. But the Watch 6, like you said, it's the entry level. It gets you into the ecosystem. And with Samsung watches, if you have a Samsung phone, they do a lot more for you. They're not believe me, I know that.
You pair them together and you can do lots of stuff like remotes as well as
the health and everything, health functions. So that watch with 44 millimeter, sorry, let's go to the 40 millimeter. I mean, it's $409 with Bluetooth, that's good, right? That's the small one, right? If you want go for the men's size 44 millimeter one, it's $549. So it's only a few dollars less than the Watch 6 Classic, but they're two completely different styles. And when you pre-order the Watch 6, right now you get a free fabric band. So if you work out with it, or if you sleep with it, because it does have sleep tracking functionality, and that's why I have a fabric band for this one, is that it's so much more comfortable at night when you're sleeping with it, because it has snore detection, it has a pulse oximeter, it looks after you. So it's a good sleep aid. It gets to tell you what you're doing right or wrong. Okay. In terms of the trade-in value, obviously you've got that $100 thing to use, but that's only for devices. So throw that away. They're still going to give you a top-up trade-in of $100 towards your other watch. Now, the Watch 5 Pro, funny enough, wasn't in the trade-in because I tried to see if I could trade that in. Wasn't there. But if you have a Watch 3, Watch 4, or Watch 5 not Pro, it looks like you can trade up to that. It varies in pricing, but it's not going to be as competitive as getting a device. Like you might be looking at $100 to $200 plus $100 on top of that. So you're still only maybe saving 50% or less. Yeah. When trading.
I think some people, when they get a smartwatch, it's something that do you pair it with your phone? Like I've seen people wearing Apple Watch, right? And they can wear them on their own without having an iPhone.
Yeah.
And it's more of a fashion statement, right?
Yeah.
But with the Galaxy Watch 6 or 5, whatever, you can actually pair it with your phone, your Samsung phone, of course.
Yeah.
And you can do a lot more with it, right? There's a ton of extra stuff, functionality you can use with the watch and the phone together.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better.
You know.
And the other thing too is that again, if you want to find your watch, if you want to find your devices and everything like that, that whole smart things, the whole Find My thing works a lot better when you have a Galaxy device with the Galaxy Watch. It's a really great ecosystem that works really well together. Heck, even my earbuds, they can find these now properly because they've reiterated through that. And also my tags are all over my luggage so I can watch them going around the airport. That's great. So, and because I had to trade phones up in Taiwan, going from a Galaxy to a Google, I realized just how much I gave away because it just didn't work the same. It didn't work right. And Wear OS, even though it's sharing that, all the functions that Samsung builds in that makes everything a lot more fun is there.
Yeah.
There. So
remember, Google devices are more plain stock.
They're plain Jane.
Yeah. Nothing fancy.
Yeah. I even noticed that when I wanted to use the camera function, the app that was in here to take your photos was actually very rudimentary. It wouldn't even go to video mode unless I changed it to video mode on the camera and then ran back to push the button. It's just not quite refined. So I applaud Samsung for doing some extra work to get people into the ecosystem. And I think that's everything we had to cover. There really wasn't a whole lot more besides, Sydney Sweeney and who's the other girl there? Yuna?
And then also Sugar from BTS.
Oh yes, BTS was there.
Galaxy Fold 5, blah, blah, blah.
Is he the only one that had military service that can still hang out? I can't remember. Like, I think some of them have not I don't know. Are they supposed to all go back to the military?
They should do. Right? Yeah. It's part of their thing, right?
Yeah. So. It's a Korean thing, right? Anyway, that's basically it. We've got 4 devices that we just covered off for you. So to reiterate, we think that the Watch 4, the Flip 4, if you are in that already, don't go for the 5. It's not worth it. Anything before the 4, 3 and earlier, go for it. We have the same feelings about the Fold. If you have a 3 or older,
that's right,
go for the 5. And with the tablets, that's kind of up to you, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of really great deals on the S8s right now, and they're fantastic. Like, I love mine to death, and I can't imagine it getting any faster. So if you can find
I can't imagine getting bigger.
No, or bigger, right? So
it's huge.
If you can find an S8 on a clear out deal that's at least 40% off, and you'll probably find them out there, go for the S8. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the watches, of course, that's all personal preference, right? If you don't have a smartwatch right now, this year's watches are a little bit thinner. They are easier to change bands with the click and everything like that.
One click, I
find that even with this watch, because it didn't have the click, it has the regular. Even though it has the regular pins and everything like that, it has that really
you have to push that thing in.
Push something in there. I think that this is the way to go if you want something that's just more fashion, more functional. If you're looking for a sport watch, again, if you're out hiking, it doesn't have that waypoint function, but that might be a software thing coming up as an update.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And the battery life is fantastic. So if you want to get a watch for your Samsung Galaxy device, I think these are a safe bet. They have come up. It looks like they have come up a bit in price because I remember the Watch 4s, you could probably get them around $299 or $349, but
that's
maybe
decent enough.
It's decent. Keep an eye out for some offers, maybe from your carrier, or even pair it up with the Z Flip 5. And I think that's all the time we have this week.
That's
Winston, thank you so much for joining me the Samsung Unpacked. And I think we've got everyone kind of excited. Hopefully we answered some questions there that you've been looking for. And make sure that you follow us on socials as well too. We've got our podcast show on Instagram and also on X.
Yeah, it's changed to X now, right?
It's changed to X. Whatever that means. And we're going to have another show on that at some point. And Winston, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Winston Chim, and also on X at Winston Chim. I don't know about Threads, though. I'm still confused. Do I use Threads?
We haven't talked about Threads yet, but I think we should in an upcoming show.
I don't know what to do with it.
But in a sense, I think it's what Twitter used to be. And I love Twitter when it was the way it used to be. And of course, you can also find me on Threads at Stephen Fang. Instagram at Stephen Fung, and also at X at Stephen Fung. And if you want to find out when our next show is dropping, we try to put out shows every Wednesday at noon. Some of you have already been noticing that we've been putting out a lot of really great and meaty interviews from a lot of industry leaders and famous tech personalities from our Computex show. And I hope you guys have been enjoying that. If you haven't been enjoying that, make sure that you leave a comment on the ones that you are enjoying so that we know what's going on, and we will try to hopefully let that person down nicer next time. Okay. And of course, we've always enjoyed interacting with you. So whatever you want to say about Samsung or some of their products, or if you really want to know what we think about a certain feature, drop it below in the comments section. And that's kind of all we have to say about that. So until next Wednesday, thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next show. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.